Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtianygo here, and today I'm coming at you with a bit of a fun concept video, I guess you'd call it. So, as you guys know, I'm messing around a little bit with the Maliss deck. I did switch from, if you guys see my most recent profile, I was playing still playing the Terahertz, but I switched over to the Aku version with the Griffin. It's just really strong, of course, being able to turn off a lot of our opponent's special summon effects. So, obviously, just a lot stronger board, especially with Bashtian, so it really just hinders what Terahertz can really do. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about here today, guys. Today, I want to talk to you guys about some pretty cool techs that I've been messing around with and really just go over what some of the benefits are, something that you guys maybe want to look into, maybe test out for yourselves. And if you guys like it, just let me know. Or if you don't like it, let me know also as well in the comment section down below. But for today's video, we're going to talk about some tech extenders for the Maliss deck that I think are pretty cool and at least worth looking into. So, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and talk today about the brand new cards coming out of Supreme Darkness, Template Skipper. Template Skipper is a really cool card, which I'll get to a little bit more in just a second, but basically it works similarly to a Bastille and Parallel Exceed combined, where if you have a Link summon or a Cyber's monster, you can special summon this. It doesn't activate, which is cool. It special summons itself to a Cyber's Link monster points to, which is really cool. And then you can banish a Cyber's monster from your graveyard, from your hand or graveyard, I should say. And if you do, this card's name becomes that name if it's used as a Link material, which obviously can come up in this deck quite a bit. Next card I want to talk about as well is going to be Minimalian, which is a really interesting card, also brand new out of Supreme Darkness, and this card works really cool. It's a free special summon, free in this deck, right? Because you banish a card from your hand to special summon this card. And then you can banish one level face up or lower, level 4 or lower monster you control, and special summon one monster from your deck whose original type and attribute are the same as the banished monster, but 1 or 2 levels lower. So you use this guy to summon him out, banish one of your on-field level 4 or lower main deck, essentially main Maliss monsters, which are all level 3s. Coincidentally, you can summon out the Nightmare Corruptor Ibli and have different ways to interrupt your opponent that way as well. And the last extender we're going to talk about today, guys, is going to be Parallel Exceed. This is going to be more of a card that I'm sure all you guys are pretty much already aware of what this does. Free special summon as long as you link summon. Doesn't have to be a cyber. As long as you link summon, you can go special summon this guy out. And when this guy special summon, you can special summon another one from the deck and they become level 4s. Cool. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So as far as that goes, guys, I want to go ahead and go over each one of these in depth, and I do want to show you guys a quick combo at the end of this with Parallel XC, which I think is really cool. The other two are pretty self-explanatory. I would say really all they do is either add one name on board, or add additional interruptions for you, which is going to be in the form of Ibli, or just another form of extending through Template Skipper. So we'll go over each one of them. We'll start off with the Template Skipper, of course. Template Skipper, I think, is a really cool card. I think it adds a lot to the deck. Some pros and cons to the deck. So for pro, it's a free special summon as long as you have any Cyber's Link monster pointing, which the extra deck is pretty much going to be primarily a whole bunch of Cyber's Link monsters. So you should be okay with that. Even of course, the Maliss Link monsters in the extra deck are all Cybers. You have cards like, of course, the Link Decoder, which is a free special summon. So there's so many things you can do to extend with this, and I like the fact that it has the ability to copy the name. So an issue with extending with Maliss is that there's times where you want to keep extending up a certain tree or a certain route, but you're not going to be able to because you specifically need either more monsters on the board or specifically a Maliss name in order to make, of course, what you need to make. You need a Maliss name to make either the White Binder, the Red Ransom, and of course the Hard Scriptor. Hard Scriptor, you need 3 monsters to summon, so it's slightly harder to summon. So having a specific Maliss name on the board is really good. Even after you activate all of the Maliss names effects to special summon back from the banished piles, Template Skipper can still be really good because you can still banish it to at least copy that name and keep extending. Now, that's where I think Template Skipper can be really good. Of course, banishing anything from your graveyard and being able to use this name is nice in the event you want to play some more niche cards as well, but this is going to be a really great way to extend. Now, some cons for the Template Skipper as well, so I want to go over, of course, pros and cons for each card. Template Skipper. The only issue I see with this card is that Bastials do exactly what this card does as far as getting another body on board, and very rarely have I seen it come up where the name actually is important, right? Also, Bystials have a lot more flexibility, so I think overall Bystials are the better strategy because they can also offer a form of interruption, whereas Temple Skipper doesn't really do that, but it does offer a form of extending. So it is something that I think is a little bit more niche, but I think it's really, really cool to at least look into this card. If you are looking to play this card, I highly recommend you guys play this at 1 to 2 copies. 3 is a bit too bricky. 1, you're not really going to see it. When I was testing it, I was playing this at 2, and it was perfect. I only saw it when I needed it, and actually helped me win a few games as well. So now with the games that I did win, with Temple Skipper, I feel like I also could have won with a Bystial, but for the niche scenarios where you need this to be a name, I think this comes up quite a bit in the event your opponent has like a Ghost Bell or something, or something that prevents you from summoning back your Maliss names or whatever it might be. Just Temple Skipper is really good to make sure you still be able to keep extending. Now, of course, this still loses to Lancia, so that is something to keep in mind as well, but that's pretty much Template Skipper in a nutshell, right? Now, next card I think is really cool. Actually, is going to be, of course, the Minimalian. So Minimalian, we kind of just went over what exactly this card does in combination with Ibli. And if you're wondering for ratios as well, again, I'll play 2 Minimalian in the main deck along with 1 Ibli. This is something that you may consider possibly siding as well, just because it's a much stronger, of course, going first, then going second. So Corruptor Ibli is a really strong Cyberse monster, level 2, which again pairs perfectly with Minimalian, which says you cannot special summon monsters except for link monsters, which is of course really strong. And you can pair this up with something like an MTP07. So if in the event you're, of course, the natural out to this, which is something that you might get a lot of, I guess, feedback on this card, is if your opponent can just normal summon Ash Blossom, link into Moon Goddess, and go full Fiendsmith combo, of course. But if you pair this with your full combo ending on NCP07 or GWC06, where it might be, you can easily out that card. Or even if you end on a Heart Script or where it might be, you can banish a normal summon, and you're still good to go ahead and do whatever you want, because essentially they won't be able to special summon other monsters except for link monsters, right? So unless you're going up against the mirror match, they can go use this, go into a link decoder maybe. So that is where this is more of a niche card, but Minimalian is pretty cool because it is something that can unbrick your hand per se. So one of the issues I see with the Maliss strategy is that there are times, depending on the variant of course, but there are times where you maybe don't see enough starters, or sometimes where you maybe see too many starters, right? This deck draws a decent amount, whether you're playing hand traps, board breakers, where it might be. And with the Maliss strategy, there are times where maybe you start breaking on too many normal summons. Minimalian helps ease all that, because Minimalian says you banish a card, one other card from your hand to special summon this card. So if you're stuck on a Chessy Cat in your hand and you have no other way to banish the Chessy Cat, you can just go ahead, activate Minimalian to banish the Chessy Cat from your hand to special summon, and then even if this doesn't go off for whatever reason, you still already got another name. Specifically, Chessy Cat on board with Zen can lead you to additional draws and additional unbreaking of the hand, which is really good as well. Again, more of a niche scenario. I think this is a lot better going first. It's something that I would probably side, if anything, if I feel like my opponent is on Maliss, first of all. If they're not on Maliss, you're good to go ahead and go with this combo. But I think this is really good against any type of like again, Fiendsmith variants, where it might have you Ryzeal against is really good. What else? What I like as well is that if you give your opponent the ability, you're protecting yourself from cards like Infinite Impermanence, which is really awesome as well. So just it adds a lot of really niche interruptions in a lot of ways that you're preventing your opponent from interacting with your board, which I think is phenomenal. And honestly, I think Minimalian has probably one of the better what's it called? Probably one of the better higher ceilings of these extenders, but it's still something that feels very niche. It feels a little bit more win more at times, but I do like the overall extension. I like that it can unbreak your hand. I find that it's really interesting that you specifically have to summon one that's summon one from your deck that's level 1 or 2. So if you draw the Ibli, it super sucks. But you can always discard it for something like a Baoku or whatever effects, or the Griffin combo if you need to just get rid of this in your hand. So that's something that's at least worth looking into, right? And then the last card, of course, we're going to be looking into today, guys, is going to be Parallel Exceed. Parallel Exceed is going to be the most universal card out of the extenders that I want to check out today. So Parallel Exceed, I think, is really, really cool just because it gets you 2 free additional bodies on board for essentially free. Real quick, just don't mind the mismatch rarities, whatever. But Parallel Exceed is a really amazing card that can help you put up an insane board with this deck. I'm going to go and show you guys real quick here in a second. But what I like about this is that even if this gets Ash or whatever, you can't summon out the other one, you're still getting a free body on board. And when you summon this, you're usually summoning this under Red Ransom, so you still already have a Maliss name on board. I find that's the best way to do it, because if you're doing it when you summon out Red Ransom, you most likely already have TB11, which if that would be your 5th summon. So if they nib you there, you can just chain TB11, or you can you have additional ways to extend further. Or if they nib you there, you can go Link Spider, summon out the Parallel Exceed, get another name on board, go into Splash Mage, and then plus you have Splash Mage plus the additional Parallel Exceed, which you can then keep extending by special summoning another Malice name, which then you have enough to go into a Link 4. And then you still have, of course, the Malice and Underworld, which you just searched with the Red Ransom. So a lot of really amazing things you can do with Parallel Exceed. I think that while Template Skipper and Minimalian are good in their own right, I think that out of the extenders, Parallel Exceed might be the best out of all of them, just because it has the most unique way of getting 2 additional bodies on your field, whereas Minimalian, you're banishing 2 cards, which, don't get me wrong, can come back, but as we all know, if you guys play this deck, trying to time your Malice banishes is really, really key to making sure you can really optimize your board. So that's definitely something to, or at least worth looking into. So I'll show you guys a quick combo, so you guys can see more or less what I end up doing with this hand. So I just say, for the sake of it, our hand is 3 Allure Darkness, right cards that don't really matter right now. And then we're going to have Dormouse and Parallel Exceed as our opening hand, right? So first things first, we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Dormouse effect, banish the White Rabbit effect to special summon itself. We're going to keep our hand over here. White Rabbit effect on summon, we're going to set the TB11, okay? So we have that already set up, and we want to wait to summon out the Parallel Exceed until after we've committed our 5th summon, just because we want to still be able to have that additional option to special summon it with the Link Spider as well, right? So we're going to go ahead and link those 2 off. Pretty standard Malice combo so far. Haggard Lizard has banished Dormouse effect, special summon itself, right? And then you're going to link into your copy of Red Ransom. Red Ransom's on summon, going to add to your hand the Malice Underground, chain link 1, chain link 2, you chain Parallel Exceed, special summons, you have Malice Underground in your hand, and then Parallel Exceed to summon out another copy of that as well. So here what you do is you want to go ahead and link 3 into your copy of White Binder effect to target the Red Ransom to special summon, and activate the effect to, White Binder effect to banish the Red Ransom, special summon itself, pay 900. And this is also going to get rid of a Dotscaper. Dotscaper is going to, of course, get banished and special summon itself back. And here what we have is a really, really good form of mathematics in the deck. So we still haven't used Chessy Cat at all. We still have TB11 completely live, and we already have our 2 main Malice Link monsters already on board, with still a Malice and Underground in our hand, which I think is really fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and link off the White Binder and the, we are going to link off the Dotscaper, my apologies, and we're going to make Link Decoder, of course. So then we're going to link these 2 off, make our copy of Firewall Dragon. You're going to want to summon this right here. It doesn't change anything, but just so you guys know, you want the Firewall Dragon in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and put the token. This is our field center for the time being. And so you have that already on board. Then you can activate your Malice and Underground to banish the White Binder, and the Link Decoder summons itself back, of course. White Binder effect, special summon itself and draw a card. We drew Chessy Cat, that's crazy. So we have follow-up, I guess, for next turn maybe. All right, activate White Binder effect, setting the GWC06 to our field, and now we have Firewall Dragon still live. We can still activate the Firewall Dragon, but realistically we don't need to. We're gonna link these two off, summon out our copy of Nightmare Griffin, and here like in the event you have to activate one of the trap cards, you can just activate the Nightmare Griffin effect to pitch one set, and you still draw a card because it's co-linked, which is awesome. But we don't even have to do any of that, so we're just going to go ahead and link these two off again into our copy of About a Coup. Okay. About a Coup effect, we're going to discard the card that we drew. In this case, it was the Chessy Cat. Banish itself to special summon back the Red Ransom. I like having Red Ransom on board because it applies pressure as far as switching your opponent's attack and defenses. So if they want to beat over the Griffin, they won't be able to. And end phase, the About a Coup is going to special summon itself back. And then your opponent's turn, you still have the Firewall live. You have GWC, you have TB11 that are live as well. And you can discard whatever the card in your hand to activate this and summon out the Griffin over here. And that way your extra monster zone is not pointing to anything, right? Because you have the Red Ransom. Red Ransom is pointing to both Firewall and Griffin. So these can still activate their activated effects if necessary, which is really necessary, of course, for a Firewall Dragon. And then if you, of course, you activate your GWC06, you can special summon back the White Binder if the event that you want to. Or you can just do additional plays as far as that's concerned. But so you have the bounce back from Firewall Dragon. If you summon the White Binder here, just be careful because you are opening yourself up to an extra deck activation because of the Griffin. But you are getting 2 additional bounces, so you can just bounce back whatever they summon, which is really good. Of course, White Binder is going to banish the White Rabbit effect, sent to MTP07. And then you have additional interruption that way as well. And this board is just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, the board is absolutely crazy. Like, if you're saying something like, oh, it loses to Nib, like every end board in Maliss is going to, again, quote unquote, lose to Nib. But as long as you have GWC set at your end phase and you have White Binder in your graveyard with a White Rabbit also in your graveyard, then that's still full interruption combo where you're getting to banish stuff from the graveyard plus MTP07. So even though it loses to Nib, I mean, does it really? If it loses to Nib, then you're fine because you're still going to be ending on the original interruptions, which is of course the White Binder and the White Rabbit. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, it's just another way to find fun extenders for the overall strategy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, out of these 3, I think my favorite ones are going to be the Template Skipper and the Parallel XE, just because they give you, as I said, free bodies on board regardless, without taking up too much, or any, I should say, materials. Whereas the Minimalians, they do take up you needing to banish in order to summon them. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below if you found this informative or helpful in any type of way, or if you have a different way to play these cards that would maybe help with additional extensions. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys are playing these in your decks right now, let me know how it's going for you guys. Like I said, I tested these out. I think they're pretty cool. I think my favorite ones, again, are these 2. But again, just let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.